Thank you very much for joining us today for our little series of chats about COVID and how it's affected business. Do you want to just introduce yourself and what your role looked like prior to COVID-19? What was normal then?
What is normal? It's like a concept, isn't it? What is normal? So I am Sinead. I've got two jobs. I have a day job where I'm an apprenticeships assessor and I work in leadership and management. And so I travelled all around the country working with lots of different employers, coaching people on apprenticeship programs. And then my evening job is I'm a coach and a mentor and a trainer, but all things kind of personal development. So female founders, self-employed people, and we look at everything from getting your headspace right to planning your social media. It's very bespoke and I do whatever anybody needs me to do. That's my passion.
Okay. So you're hoping that might one day be the main?
That is the plan. So I've been, last 2 years, I'm tipping the balance.
Okay.
So the day job is going down in hours and the love is going up, and COVID has had a part to play in that one.
Okay. So well, let's expand on that then, as we've kind of hit that. How has COVID changed your perspective on what you want your working role to be?
So I've been really lucky. So my day job, even though it's always been about travel and seeing people, when I'm not traveling, I'm home based. So I'm really lucky that when everything went crazy, it was like, right, we stop traveling, we do this, and we can carry on functioning. And for the best part, we've absolutely carried on. It's been brilliant. What it did do in terms of people call it like a side hustle. It's not a hustle for me, it's a slow burner. But for me, for the other side of it, what it's brought is so many conversations with people. So most of my business comes off social media, just chatting through people. I don't actively tout for business. You won't see me giving anybody the hard sell, but just having conversations with people about, what do I do? I've got this idea. I'm already doing this. My mind's a little bit of a mess because we all went into survival mode. So I've been able to help people put a bit of a life plan together, so to speak.
Fantastic.
So whether it's an individual life plan, whether it's a business plan, and like I said, I do lots of things because I talk to lots of different people.
It's very much what fits that person. So you can't be generic and have a box that you say, oh, we'll give you plan C, because it's just not appropriate.
Totally. I base everything around productivity. So it's finding out what's the stopping point, what's the sticking block, and then we kind of spin it from there. But like you said, you can't just go, okay, here's option one, good luck. Because some people will fly with it being left on their own, and some people will just have a meltdown. So I've been really lucky that, it's terrible, isn't it? I've been really lucky because people have gone, but it's driven those conversations, and it's driven a lot of people, and myself included, to go, if I don't change things now, everything's going to go back to normal. And then what do I do?
So really, the forced stopping of COVID-19 has given you breathing space. Would that be right then? To kind of...
I think so. Because for even those of us that have continued to work throughout this, we're not commuting. So even if we're still getting up in the morning, we're not running out the door. We've actually got time to have a coffee. Well, okay, debatable. It depends what's happening in the morning, kids and stuff. But we've got that time to kind of breathe, and school runs aren't being done, or those groceries can wait till late. All those little things that we've always run around for. Well, we haven't been able to. So that breathing space, I think, along with the survival mode we all kind of fell into, I did a little bit of reading about that. It's quite fascinating. And the slowing down, it's given everybody a chance to either go, I'm really happy with my lot and really enjoy it and thrive on it, or complete opposite and go, right, I need to change my life. This is ridiculous.
So I'm guessing, therefore, when we were heading into lockdown, you didn't think, oh, here's a great opportunity for my side hustle, for want of a better, to grow. It's naturally evolved.
When this all first happened, I had a little bit of a shutdown
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know what to do. I'm on my own with my boy. Schools were shut. I still had to work. Yes, I'm at home, and working from home is very different in a lockdown.
It's not working from home anymore. It's
no, it's working at home.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think people that everybody's dynamic is different, and everybody has their own struggles, family or not. Chuck kids into the mix, and it just becomes chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
You can think they're, an hour in front of the telly and they'll be fine, but the second you load up your Zoom, they need everything now. And you can't do an 8 hours. You can't log on do 8 till 4 with an hour for lunch. It just doesn't. And again, with or without kids, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, being in one place, because at work I think people forget that you walk and get a coffee, you pop to the canteen, you just pop to a colleague's office and have a chat about whatever was on your mind. Yeah. You're not actually at your desk for 8 hours a day. So we've all been arguably, or those who can, those who have been able to fit 8 hours in, almost more productive or got more done in that way, potentially, because actually if you're at your computer for 8 hours, that's more than you would be in your workplace.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many studies being done on how the 9 to 5 doesn't work. It doesn't work. We're not productive. They reckon.
He agrees.
Yeah, see, exactly. And the future will not be working 9 to 5 because they'll have none of it. No. They'll be like, what? Why do you want me to sit here? Like, it's just bonkers. So, yeah, we're productive. They reckon that we're only productive for about 2.5, 3 hours a day. And do you know what? Kind of believe it.
Yeah. I think when you break down actually how often we were at our desk previously, unless, you're at the point where there's a massive project coming in, or in my case, a big load of marking has come in.
Yeah.
There's those points that you need to kind of focus very particularly. But yeah, when you really break down how long you are sat at your desk productively doing whatever.
Yeah.
Not that those chats with a work colleague aren't very, very, very handy. And, certainly in my job makes me think outside the box or introduces me to another concept or whatever. But it's not that kind of it's not what would hit a KPI.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's definitely been, especially for the company that I work for in the day, there's been a massive shift on presenteeism. They have finally started to see that a bum on a seat doesn't equal productivity.
Excellent.
That if you let them work from home, let them manage their workload, as long as the KPIs are being hit, actually the output is better. It's a higher quality. They're not moaning. So do you know what I mean? Everybody just becomes that little bit more happy. I don't think we'll ever get to the 4-day working week, unfortunately. I don't think my company has that progressive.
So do you think they planned much going into lockdown, or have they been quite reactive to what's happening in government guidelines, realising that one can work from home?
Yeah, it's kind of been a mixed bag. It's been a mixed bag. So obviously working in the training sector, we've been very much governed by what the companies that we work with are, and a lot of them stopped. Yeah. So therefore 98% of our team got furloughed.
Right.
But they were really quick with that, because they were like, if we furlough you now, we can build to come back to it. Yeah. And that's what they're doing at the moment. Part of my role is we're on a strategic team to reintroduce everybody back into the business. Yeah. The delivery has changed. We're going 98% online. The travelling is stopping.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's going to be quite a difference for everyone working, actually.
Yes, and I think, and some people are going to thrive on it and absolutely love it, and other people are going to really miss that travelling aspect. We've never been office based, so we've never had that traditional, water cooler, team meetings for every quarter. So we really don't see each other a lot. But they thrive on that driving to a client and sitting with people and all of that. Yeah. I'm so excited I don't have to drive 3 hours for a 2-hour meeting to come back again.
Well, suddenly, if you look at the greater scheme of things, like the Flex Appeal talks about with regards to children looking after parents, caring for anybody else that may be involved, those things become more possible if you don't have to do huge commutes. When you can
That's it. You can go to the gym off peak. You know, those things that you've always wanted to do, but you've had to commute, or you've had to stay late for a meeting, or all those things. Yeah, everybody just the shoulders just drop a little bit. And I know the argument is that not every role can be flexible, not every role can work. And absolutely. Yeah. But I do believe there is always a flexibility available.
Yes.
Even in shift work and things like that, even if it's something as simple as a set day off.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. And I know from friends working where when they became parents, were able to get, even if it was just a set day off when shift work was involved. Whereas maybe the fathers kind of went, oh no, that's not possible. And I'm seeing quite a shift. I don't know if you are in men realizing, oh, wait a minute, I could, if I wanted to, take the Tuesday off and pick the children up from school. And, it doesn't only have to happen if you are a female.
No, and this is absolutely it. And something I had, so when my boy's partner was around, we'd actually shifted the dynamic. So he had a Monday off because he worked in retail and worked very bizarre hours. We put the flex request in and said, I'll work whatever shift you like. I just need a Monday off.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And that was it, because that then meant that for my day job, I could do an overnight stay. So I could do the drive to London, do a double visit.
Plan your workload around.
Yeah. So that then gave us that flexibility. Yeah. So my employer didn't think I was taking the mick. So I can't, I've got childcare, all the usual things that they're always hearing. Even though it's a reality for so many people, employers have traditionally, the second you go, can I finish? I just need to finish an hour earlier today. It's like,
No,
it's a whole different ball
feel
game.
Guilty. I went back to work for maternity leave, and my employer are fantastic, really supportive. There's a lot of women employed at our university, and they're great with it. But when there was an afternoon meeting booked, and I was like, I have to walk out the door and be in the car by this time, or my children will be on the steps of the childmind. That is the absolute latest, and everybody pray that there's no traffic if that's when I'm leaving. Yeah. And I felt terrible saying that, but I was saying that I had to leave by 5:30, which is not an unreasonable request.
Well, this is it, and it's still your working hours. You've done your day's work. If anything, I say we as in the female group, we are notorious for working over hours and still feeling guilty, because it's all just, damn the patriarchy. It's all just ingrained into us. But as soon as you ask for a favour, it doesn't matter that you've done 6 hours overtime in 2 days. It's like, ooh. It's like, but again, the way that things have had to adapt so quickly, I'm really hopeful that people will stick with it. I've already heard rumbles from people that we work with that they're not. They're like, right, I want you back in the office. I want you sat at that desk.
Really?
And it's like,
That's
be
a shame
interested
that lessons aren't being learned.
Yeah, because I'd be interested to see how that impacts the morale and all of that, going back into an old way of working, I guess.
Yeah. So with your clients that have kind of started building then for your coaching, are they coming with these realizations? I've realized that I can be more flexible. I've realized that I have the potential to do, and looking for guidance then on how to achieve that.
Yeah, it's always that clarity, isn't it? Like, it's dead easy. And I say this myself, where I seek coaching and I seek advice as well, because you have your ideas and you know what you want to do. And usually you see somebody else doing it and you're like, I could do it better. But you can't figure out how to put A, B, and C together. You've kind of forgotten your alphabet for a minute, and your mind just gets so cloudy with everything. And then chuck life in on top of that, and you've got no hope. So what we do is we sit and have a chat, and it's just that verbal, get it all out of your brain. I sit and scribble all my notes down, and I then pull it apart and go, right, well, we don't need that. You're already doing that. You just didn't realize it. And then they get a little plan. Basically, it's a little life plan, and it's like things you could do now, things you could do in the next month, things to plan for the next 6. basic. I've never been one to complicate things. It's like, you know, it's all stuff that we know. It's things we forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people just get to walk away and go, whew, right, okay, let's start at number 1 instead of trying to get down to LMNOP. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which we're all guilty of, aren't we?
Oh yeah, and they always say there's a reason, like it's LMNOP and it's all wedged and crumpled up in the middle of the alphabet because we're all just stuck there. You've jumped straight in the middle.
That's brilliant.
I'm a sucker for a good analogy.
That's fantastic. I'm stealing it. Just putting it
Do
out.
it. Use it.
I'll give you
I'll stick it on my Instagram later. I haven't used it yet online. I should.
Absolutely. That will work great. Okay then. So moving forward, post-COVID, obviously lockdown's easing, but everyone's aware that there could be a second lockdown. Leicester's already proved that that is highly capable. How are you kind of planning for the future with also those kind of realizations in mind that we could go?
Yeah, I think for me, I can't see anything normal isn't going to happen. I don't think this year. I think 2020. So here you go. So Instagram's analogies, memes, and all of that. So someone put hindsight is 2020. I think it was a secret coded message.
Yes.
So I think with that in mind, I think this year is just about going with what we got.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Zooms are the future. Zoom fatigue is real and we've got to learn to manage it. You know, when lockdown first started and it was like Zoom quiz, Zoom team party, Zoom work this, and now everybody's like, no thanks.
I need an evening with a book, just a book.
I did it the other night and it was glorious. And then the next day I was straight back on my phone and straight back on the screens and everything else, but I had a good evening. So for me it's about learning to manage that online fatigue, because we were scheduling training sessions that were 3-4 hours long. It's too much. It's not the same as sitting in a room with people, and exactly the same as being at work and in an office. You're not up, you're not about, there's no natural lunch break, there's no room for those pauses and discussions. It's very much presentation by boredom.
Yeah.
So like I've started to shrink things right down. Let's make it snappy, let's make it sharp so we can walk away and then go and do the thing.
Yeah.
Rather than just, you know, I'm sure you've seen it yourself, as people just start doing this and like put your phone away from the camera.
Turn off the camera a minute because I'm gonna just I've got you on. Don't worry.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. So for me and the future, it's probably going to look like this. Yeah. It's getting slicker. Each week is getting a bit slicker and a bit more fine tuned. So the day job, we're going pretty much remote. We see our clients once a month. It's going to be maybe, and that's in an 18-month period. Yeah. They'll be seen like 3 times.
Okay. In person,
in person, yeah. So that's really changing, and we are trying to be the pioneers for that. Hopefully, all the planning is going to come off. And then from my side of it, just more of this, as and when we can start to meet up with people in real life. Absolutely. I was just about to launch a little mini package, which is called coffee, a really simple coffee and a stroll. Yeah. We were going to go grab a coffee, go for a walk around Birmingham somewhere, and just chat. Yeah. I'm hoping I can get that on its feet soon, actually.
Well, I mean, there's enough distancing in place that there's...
Yeah. So especially because of, and, you know, the Zoom fatigue and everything else, it's a good way to say, right, let's get up, let's go out, stretch our legs, and then we can have a Zoom catch-up a week down the line, 2 weeks down the line. And we'll kind of almost flip it on its head, because we've just become, for what has been such a short period of time, really, you know, 3-4 months, this is the norm now. We're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
We can change. Don't like it, but we can do it.
Taking all those lessons and taking into business how to more effectively work, get the most out of people, help people get that work-life balance.
Yeah.
You know, make everyone happier and everybody is more productive. Take away that travel fatigue and sitting at the desk for the sake of it fatigue and clock watching because you feel guilty if you've left early, which isn't early, it's still an hour overtime actually. You know, take away all that culture. which, would be so long to change usually. This is, absolutely unfrozen everything immediately. And we have this great opportunity, or businesses have this fantastic opportunity to freeze in what they want it to be when everyone starts going back. Yeah, though I feel that this whole next year will be kind of different, and then a year in September will be more long-term normal, if that makes sense. I think we need this kind of blip of a year to get through the rest of COVID, work out what works, what doesn't, and
that's it.
Move on again.
Because I'm still confused as to how we're going to get large groups of people together again. Forget school, team meetings, conferences, all those other things, concerts. I want to go to a concert. I've had so many cancelled this year. But also, I don't want to go and stand near people.
No. Yeah, just a balance of safety versus...
That's it. It's all that common sense. So how that's going to look when they start planning for, because we know, schools are notoriously small, especially primary schools. You can't. I don't know where they're going to put them. Yeah. Team meetings, you're normally all rammed into a room somewhere, aren't you? Where there's no elbow space because it's the only small meeting room left. It's definitely going to be a change. Yeah, definitely. I'm positive that it's going to be good. I think there are so many things happening through COVID, so many movements and changes and adaptations, and yeah, I'm feeling kind of positive through a pandemic.
No, I definitely agree with you. So I guess to kind of close off then, what would you hope that the working world looks like in 12 to 18 months' time?
I hope that it's kinder. I hope that people's empathy sticks around. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of me that worries that it's not. And I also hope it's kind of more empathetic and it's slower.
Yeah.
Because giving people that time to process actually just gives it makes people feel more positive. They're more productive. You'll get better results. And I just hope that people will see that that's true. That's what I've been teaching. I've been in apprenticeships and training and coaching for over 15 years now. And that's always what I've preached. And it's finally, this is it. This is the point where we can turn it and make such an impapt for kind of the future leaders.
Theory.
Yes, absolutely. Because normally I'm met with people that go, you're so funny. Don't be sick. Check my emails once a day. Don't be ridiculous.
It's on it blinks that I go straight to it.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. I was sat the other day on the sofa and I had Netflix on, I had my iPad on, I had my phone on, and I've got an iWatch, and it was like Apple Watch. I'm so old, an iWatch. And I just had a moment where I was like, this is ridiculous. And that's when I went and read my book. I just switched everything off. I was like, I've got to stop this now. Because all my kid sees is, scrolling. Yeah. Whether it's work or not, he doesn't care. He just knows that grown-ups get to do this.
And then they want to.
Yes. So I'm hoping that we've learned to slow down. We get to keep slowing down. I'm not saying stop. I'm just that
the world has
time
to
that we've had.
Going.
Yeah, that's it. I think if we've learned anything, it's that actually a bit of empathy will go such a long way. Don't get me wrong. There are people that will always take the mick, and those need to be dealt with accordingly. But for the best part,
there's great HR theory to deal with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But for the best part, if you look after your team, whether it's a team of one, whether you're just looking after yourself, or whether it's 50 people, if you all just take the time to communicate, chat, understand each other, you'll move mountains. Yeah. And it all just seems so obvious, but we just forget because we're rushing.
Yes, I absolutely agree. That's a wonderful sentiment, and let's absolutely hope that we can, that the big boys can hear and remember that, and that they've enjoyed that slowing down as well.
That's it. I think it's as leaders start to retire and the next lot come through, the ones that I'm working with, hoping that they've learnt their lessons and they will trickle that down the ladder, so to speak.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for talking. It's been really great.
You're so welcome.